Welcome back into the local and community issues and answers right here with Jonathan Lawson. We are so thankful to have in our studios today the Sheriff of Jackson County, Mr. Denny Pyman, and also Mr. James Collins. Welcome in, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
And we're going to be talking about the Sheriff. Tell us about your work.
Well, I'm the Sheriff of Jackson County. This is my first term. And what brought me to the county was basically serving people, reaching out to people, and that's still what I continue to do in the sheriff's position.
Reaching out. Now, how did you get involved as being the sheriff?
Well, when I first came to Jackson County, I really didn't know anybody east of the Mississippi, but we as a family made a commitment to serve the Lord and to go where He would send us. And He sent me to a little community in the hills of Kentucky, and went in there to work with high-risk youth and addicts. And after serving with the Jackson County Ministries for 15 years, got involved in enough people's lives, and with a past in law enforcement, they elected me to their sheriff.
Wonderful. Mr. James Collins, tell us about Cowboy Up. You've seen the sheriff there.
Yeah, well, I took kids up there, they're also involved with Cowboy Up for Christ over there. And, I thought that was such a great thing, law enforcement being involved with the kids and stuff. And they're just doing such a great job, and to help support the Cowboy Up for Christ and stuff also.
Wonderful.
And, and that just, you can just see kids' faces. Also, it helps the kids, just like, it ain't like you were saying earlier. They ain't seeing the law enforcement just come to arrest their mom and dad. They're seeing them as a person, and that's as a Christian also, and that they're involved with their lives and stuff, and it really helps the kids.
It's wonderful, Mr. Sheriff Denny, that you are so community-oriented, that you're reaching out to the people, the public, and getting out there and getting involved.
Yeah, when I came in there and working with these kids and watching them grow up, a lot of these kids now have their own children, and knowing that I got to be involved in them at an early age because of maybe the lack of a father in the home or lack of activity after schools and that sort of thing.
Right.
Getting involved in their lives then and seeing, what things that help them to excel. And that's like with Cowboy Up. It was something where I could just tag along with the youth and still be involved in their lives in a positive mold. So.
Right. What are some goals that you would like to see going on in their communities, like community-based programs, the community getting involved with the Sheriff's Department?
Well, we have, just like in every community, there is a sheriff in every county. Right now, I think most people just don't understand what the role of the sheriff really is, and I think it's not. Yes, it is a political role because the sheriff is actually the last, line of defense between the community and local government, state government, federal government. The role of sheriff and being involved in what's going on and understanding that role is really important to community.
And there's so many people right now that are suffering in our communities. You got these addictions, you got drugs, you got things like that. People's got some real issues and real troubles, and they need to be free. And that's part of the Sheriff's Department, too, is to reach out to the hurting people and to make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, I'm actually in a position of being probably a counterbalance. When, say, we're dealing with addicts, I want to be known as remembered as a second chance sheriff. Just because people get involved in things and make bad decisions and hurt themselves and their families, that doesn't mean that that can't be corrected. That God can intervene and change that person. And the people I deal with, and you can talk to any addict in our community. I've had dealings one-on-one with each and every one of them. Sometimes it's a bad encounter because a lot of times that's their choice. But by a bad encounter means that they're going to be arrested and going to jail. A good encounter is when they call and say, "Denny, I need help."
Exactly.
And you can come into my office anytime, and we actually help hook you up with getting into rehabs and even into groups. Or some accountability there. So,
well, we're living in a society right now, brothers, that is so. It's changed. Our society has changed. There's more thieving. There's more drug addictions. There's more bad crimes going on, robberies and stealings, and we need to be up on our game plan and stick with the Sheriff's Department.
What? Sorry, this morning I got a cold, I guess, but. What I'm starting in our Sheriff's Department is a posse program, and that is where local people have an involvement at any level. You know, they can be involved. They want to be involved in the office. They want to be involved in the community. They can actually be involved and go through training. The first training that I would send people through is learning the Constitution. I know that seems kind of, why, you know, it's not even taught in the schools anymore. And that's something that's very important, because what I run into more than anything is people just don't know what their rights are.
Exactly. And you know, people can be anonymous and give tips if they see bad things going on, like a crime or somebody's being robbed or something like that. Just give a tip to the sheriff's office.
Yeah, we get that. We get that every day.
James, what are ways that we as the people can get involved with the sheriff's
You
office?
know, just like you're saying, they got other programs now. It's open to the community, and you know that's first I heard of it myself. It is, and you know, that's interesting that they got something like that going.
Right.
But you know, we need to stand behind our law enforcement and stuff, because you know they're out there laying down their life to protect us.